Okay, this is the first day I'm looking at my Aerogarden since my last video, and I showed you a picture 2 days in. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to be all excited. Let me turn the phone this way because I just go crazy when I see these plants bloom. And I am not like promoting it at all. I guess I am, but I'm not like, I don't get anything. Oh no, I was supposed to take the tops off. Look at them, they're so cute. All right, I'm saying they don't need me. They do need me. Because these tops are supposed to be off now once they start hitting the top. They all came through. Sometimes they're like struggling, and I'll go in there and I'll try to like assist them through, and you're really not supposed to do that because what happens is then they don't get strong enough on their own. Now they're really strong this time. Now these are all really strong. I thought they'd be bigger, but for what is this, like a week or something? In 2 more weeks I'll be able to start eating them, believe it or not. You will be shocked what this looks like in a couple more weeks. And as always, I'm going to read a poem of mine to you from my book, Finding Passion Through Truth, a book of poetry, and this is still the draft book. My published copies with the proper title on it will be in anywhere from May 31st on, so I'm waiting for those. In my new children's book, Be Free Like Me, I got some hard copies of that too. So let's go to the next poem. Last time I read, I need a sip of water so I can go on living. And my throat is dry. I've been working out every day. I've been doing yoga every other day and doing my, it's called age-related stamina, age-related, something like that, rowing machine, but I call it mobility impaired because it really helps me. My right side, I notice, just really bothers me a lot more now that I'm more aware of it. I have hemiparesis from an anesthesia incident from faulty operators of it in 1990, and I find that like the more I've been through with my body and the more I'm aware coming back from a lot of it, it happened in 2011, that I can really feel it bothering me more or impairing me more. So I really try to work it as much as I can, and of course it makes me really, really tired because after surgery in 1990, I mean, my whole body just changed. I wasn't spelling correctly. I was getting lost in my neighborhood that I lived at for almost 3 years. I was so tired because I was really avid in keeping my weight down, whether it was eating, working out, however I did it. I mean, I was like 110 when I went in for surgery. It was just a routine surgery. But when I would work out, even after that, because I refused, I was really dead set on all the time keeping my weight down. At that time, I was just 29, just entering my 30s shortly after that. And I was just so tired. And I knew that there was, I mean, obviously there's something wrong with you a few weeks after, not a few weeks after, like a few days after, when you've been off whatever, pain meds, or I don't think I hardly took anything, pain meds and any anesthesia enough, that you're seeing these shocking things. But you're still kind of in a fog, so yeah, as scared as I was, I let it go. And then when I started going to the gym shortly after that, I don't know, a week or two, it just, kept continuing to make me absolutely exhausted. And then I would have like episodes where I wasn't breathing right. And of course, no one was going to discuss it with me medically because they hide these things. And my chest was just, what it does is it damages your chest, even if it's ever so slightly, just like it's ever so slightly what it did to my brain. But that's all you need to make these horrible adjustments wrongly to your body. So I'm tired because I've been working out a lot. So I just, I refuse to give in to let my body not be able to do the things that I want to do. I absolutely adore yoga. My whole life I wanted to dance. I wanted to be a dancer when I was a little girl. Did not want to model. I was kind of pushed into the modeling route to try. I did very little acting. just for the fact that I wasn't allowed to go to school by my dad. That wasn't my real dad. My real dad wasn't around to support me. And then I had a horrible marriage. I mean, he wasn't going to support me. He wasn't even paying taxes. He was trying to hide it all the time. They were all over me, the government, for that. And so I really didn't have too many options. I wasn't making a whole lot of money. In high school, they wanted me to just smile and be quiet and look pretty and just marry this guy, you know. And so I never really followed any of my passions or anything I wanted to do, because it was always just trying to take care of myself, put food in my mouth, leave a bad marriage, put food in my mouth. I had no skills. I mean, I did try a few dance lessons, and as wonderful as I was like a butterfly. I mean, the first couple of classes, I went to Alvin Ailey, and even the instructor, I could see she was just like, whoa, I'm just flying through the air. And, you know, I couldn't go back because there was so much abuse in my life, and there always had been. And if you're a woman, you know, we deal with it every day. But if you don't have that support so you can go forward, then that's going to be your life pattern. You're not going to, you know, be able to have your dreams. That's why I wrote the poetry book, finding your passion through truth, just facing all the truths in my life, and really finding my passion that way, what I really love. So to make a long story short, let me have a little bit more water. I found it was yoga that I was looking for in my life. Maybe music too. Definitely expression. I wouldn't necessarily say writing. I'm really good at writing, but probably, you know, very original in my content, maybe to those that I'm connecting with for that reason. But nonetheless, it can come to me pretty quick. But I always wanted movement. And I was very spiritually connected. I died from convulsions when I was a child, and it really messed up, you know, my whole body and everything about me. And I was always a little tired after that, more than other people. So that probably impacted me my entire life as to how I functioned and how I thought. And so when I found yoga, and I really didn't think I could do it because my back had been separated from its muscle from abuse, the worst of it back in 2011. I really fought hard to hold tight to my son, being a single mom, you know, with a mild brain injury from the anesthesia and hemiparesis, and then I ended up getting Hashimoto's, and I won't even go into that because I don't want to waste my time and your time. I mean, it's not a waste of your time, but I don't want to even waste my breath on that and give anybody any kind of satisfaction to the attention they would get. But I was afraid to do yoga for that reason. Like, I'll always still feel the crack in my back, and I know I have to be aware of that. I don't want to make it worse. And when I first started yoga, when I decided to try it anyway, when I was scared, this was probably back in 2019, I think. And I have been doing it for about 3 years, and I really kind of fell into just laying all over the ground, and I got pretty limber. And when I fell once after that, I twisted my whole body around because they had water on the floor at a mall and a skating rink. I mean, I didn't even notice it, and got right back up. And, you know, the young kids were like, oh my God, they thought that I was going to be like completely distorted, not be able to move. I just got up and walked away, and they're like, I can't believe that. You know, I said, oh, well, I do yoga, you know. But the thing was, I wasn't really focusing a lot on the basic moves that you learn. I was more just throwing myself into where I felt comfortable with it. And it obviously benefited me. But now further down the road, I'm finding that I wasn't satisfied with it enough, and I wasn't connecting to my cognitive deficits enough where I could do things that I wanted to do more. As my son got older, I really started to get more intently into my mind, into things I had been working on. Music, podcasts, maybe books and stuff. And so I had to find a way to get past it. So I eventually went on the yoga trapeze and hurt my hands because I was not going to take no for an answer. That I was going to get past this blockage of just, you know, like horrible fogginess in my brain, not being able to concentrate enough, even just to do a couple of hours of things that I really, really enjoy and want to be there for fully in my mind, or as much as I possibly can be, so I'm aware of it and not just kind of doing a routine. And you know, looking fine enough and that kind of thing. And so I hurt my hands, but I mean, I was doing handstands. I think I have a yoga playlist, and it shows me up there. And I was getting in really cool shape. I started out, I made sure I showed, you know, the shape I was in, because when I stopped doing something to transition into something else, you know, then my body will quickly go back to not looking as strong, maybe is a good word to say. So you know, I advanced in the on the trapeze, but then I got macular degeneration, obviously because I had been beaten down so bad. My eyes are going to get worn down, and I knew that was the case. I was lucky that's all it was, and I'm holding on to my eyesight as of this time. But I decided that not only was I overtiring my body unnecessarily, because now I found the place that I needed to in my brain that I could at least work with and try to, you know, shake the attention in that area. But it wasn't necessary for me to be hanging upside down and torturing myself, really. I didn't need to be doing that anymore. And I was kind of bored with it, because I didn't want to be an acrobat. And I know there's people that they flip and twirl in it, and then they'll put the legs up. And even if I worked toward that, not only was it so exhausting, but it really wasn't feeling as rewarding. I did it for about a year, and I'm so happy I tried it. Got rid of the stand, let somebody else enjoy it. Some young girl came and picked it up with her family. And jumped on the floor again. And I was using, excuse me, a yoga ball for a while. I loved that. I had like almost 50,000 views of me being on a yoga ball in my pajamas on one of them, one of the videos here. If I remember, I'll have to link that. And I just loved it. But, you know, I was kind of afraid that I wasn't going to be able to do the basic yoga poses, because I was afraid to start out with it. And I knew I was limber, so I was kind of enjoying the fact of being limber on the floor, on my back most of the time. And I was doing forward fall, not too bad. I hated it. I wasn't breathing well. But for some reason, my breath, I don't know if it was the rowing machine, but my breath started coming back, where I saw kind of an open door. And almost just very recently, I pushed myself into the, well, actually, no, I just started taking online classes with a yoga teacher. And I was really staying with it, and I was doing the poses that were uncomfortable. And I just really dead set did not want to on some mornings when I got up, and I said, no, I'm going to do it, because I knew I was feeling better, and but tired. I'm probably going to feel tired for the rest of my life, even if I work out or not. And food can be a factor, an obstacle for me too, because I don't have the money to eat the kind of food that my body needs with what's wrong with me. And like I have almond butter, cottage cheese. Sometimes the store runs out. Now that I'm working out, I don't have the energy to go look around for the kind of cottage cheese I'll eat. Right now I'll eat Daisy, because it doesn't have any of the guar gums, which is like swallowing a tire. And I found that that really affects me and holds me down. But not only is it the money, but it's the fact of me getting out to search for the products that I need at these stores that I could buy them at and save a lot more money, which I gave that up because it's just too tiring. So now I can, you know, do these videos, exercise every day, and really I have to take into consideration how much time and energy I spend in cooking my meals, which I eat everything. I cook everything I eat. So, but I've been staying with it, and I'm seeing how the beginner poses I can actually do, and I'm not questioning anymore at the fact that I'm going to be able to do them, you know, good enough to make me happy, because you really don't have to, unless you're going to be an instructor, like what I'm going to get into, as I want to say to you, I would like to do, even if it's just to say that I have a certificate and put some videos on my channel to that. It's really about doing it for you. And even now I make sure I make alternative movements are easier for me. I make sure I use blocks, because you know, this side can get really, really tired, and my wrist is still tight from hurting them from the handstand. So you know, if I do a downward dog now and I'm going to keep up with the rest of a class, then I make sure, I just learn now to make sure I bend my knees and don't worry about holding them all the way out straight, so I can make it through all these other beginner moves until my body gets strong enough. And even if I always have to use alternative moves, I'm going to see if like a class will let me, because of my my complications with my hemiparesis and, you know, my head injuries from abuse, my back injury from abuse, and then my brain injury from anesthesia. I'm going to see if they will let me you know, use alternate like props and stuff like that to pass. And if they say no, then it probably might, I'm guessing, would be a waste of time for me, or I might get through it enough just to pass. But I think what I would do is I would make those moderations for other people that are in the same spot as I am. And I'm learning from so many women that I've watched on YouTube, that not necessarily the sites where they have it all professionally set up and maybe people want to see it all 100% perfect, but where I get so much out of it, and it has saved me emotionally and physically. I think I would like to let others know that you just do what you can do. Now I've seen other people say that, and sometimes it seems like they're just saying it, and the moderations they're making aren't really going to keep up with what I need. But I know now, or maybe someone else will think that too for themselves, I know now we just do what we need. Because as long as our body's feeling the movement, our muscles are still being stretched, and we're still getting the benefit to help us emotionally and physically. And that's really important to know. So if you've ever thought of yoga, I just want you to know that even if, and I've definitely done this, you're only moving an inch, and you can feel your body and it says stop, you are getting the ultimate of your workout at that moment, and you will feel the results, I guarantee you. So don't be afraid of that. If you never go past it, that's all right. You'll always be getting the benefit of what you need. And so that's all I wanted to say. So I will go into sailing in the sea. Now I started going through some things when I first found out I was maybe going to lose my eyesight. I just figured, okay, let's just dive all in. I'm going to lose it, I'm sure. And you know, I contacted the Blind Dog Association. I can't think of the exact name. Really sweet guy. Spent, you know, a little bit of time explaining some things to all of us that showed up at a meeting, and then a couple personal emails that he answered very fully to me. And so I'm not afraid now if that happens. I've accepted if I lose my eyesight. And with my particular condition, which I was told it's really bad, that I would, if the worst of it happened to me, I would have no eyesight at all. I mean, it wouldn't just be, you know, a lot of people with macular degeneration, they lose like 30% or 70%, or there's always a percentage. And maybe that's their worst, but my worst would be I lose it all, because I said, just give it to me straight. So I dealt with it all, and I mean, I'm over it. I don't really feel like I'm going to lose my eyesight, at least completely. I mean, I see it diminishing a little bit, but the reason I haven't jumped and ran to the doctors about it, the eye doctor, where he tells me to keep an eye on it, is because we both know a lot of what's going on with me is from my brain injury, and my eyes just are being tested from my brain not being as strong anymore. So when my eyesight's blurry, it's not like it stays that way all the time. And I've learned not to panic from taking yoga and doing a lot of meditation when I see these changes in my body from all the things wrong with me, if I can use that word. I can't think of a better one right now. But I do have, you know, those impairments that will come and go from my brain injury being compromised with, because my eyesight is just trying to pull on it, and there's, you know, my whole brain's not there, so it's like, oh really, you're like it's going to pull from other areas of my body that needs to function from the area of my brain that's already compromised. So that's where this poem came from. It's kind of pretty though, but I don't feel as deep into it, sadly, as I did when I wrote this, or when I first found out. So, which is when I write the best of my songs. I jump right into the writing of whatever I'm feeling so intently. I sit here rocking, though I know you're still with me. I caught a moment when you weren't. I wasn't scared for that time, just lost in a beautiful place, like sailing in the sea. I would rock on my excuse me, I'm stopping for a minute. I would rock on my yoga trapeze, and I would close my eyes, and I just wanted to know what it would feel like. It brought me comfort, because as a kid, any kind of movement really helped me a lot, because I needed to move. I was a little bit double jointed. I found out that helps. I know now not to be afraid. It comes on so slowly and comfortably. Mother Mary, thank God I believe. This voyage comes so easily. I know all my faith has brought me to this calm place. I really do believe now. And when the dark all happens, I'll know I'm in a safe, comfortable place, because I feel it now rocking in my swing with my eyes closed. My yoga swing. I'm locked up in this feeling. I'm closed in this thought. I know I'm safe and secure no matter what happens now. It's like sailing in the sea, just swinging here in my swing. Losing my sight is like sailing in the sea. So, I felt like I was crying reading that last line. It's kind of nice to be able to feel moments that are so deep and feel that close to them. So I feel really grateful for that. So that was a poem I'm reading today, and I want to thank you for watching and having patience listening to all that I had to say today. So stay safe, stay blessed, living positively after challenges.